Welcome to Unity with Pam, with your host, Pam Willis-Hovey.
My name is Ryan. Good evening. This is Unity with Pam's Kid Broadcasters, and today we're interviewing Miss Pam Williams. How are you, Miss Pam?
Great. How are you? I'm excited to be
Good.
here with these Wesley Heights students.
Thank you. Thank you. It's an honor. Well, Miss Pam Williams, I have a question. What made you be a teacher and have all those degrees? Wasn't it hard for you?
It was hard, but when I was a little girl, I always wanted to be a teacher. So when I was young, I decided that I would have to go to college and make good grades and make good choices. So the whole time in my education career, I decided to be a teacher and loved every minute of it because I get to make a difference in children's lives like you.
That's good. We need people like you
Aw.
who helps the world. Miss Pam Williams, what was your best thing about working with kids?
I enjoyed seeing children's progress. Like when I taught, most of my time I taught kindergarten, and in kindergarten the children would come in and barely know their letters, and by the end of the year they would be reading and writing.
Miss Pam, what did you want? Did you want to be a teacher? Did you have other thoughts of what you wanted to be when you grow up?
Most of my life I played teacher with my sister, so I always wanted to be a teacher. Sometimes I would dream maybe about being a flight attendant, but I didn't think that was as much fun and as rewarding as working with children and getting to teach them how to read and write.
Thank you.
Miss Pam, since you're an education outreach coordinator, what responsibilities do you need to know?
I am Governor Deal's Education Outreach Coordinator, and what that entitles is I get to visit schools around Georgia and thank teachers for being in education and making a difference. And I also get to shout out and focus and promote young leaders and young students in Georgia.
Hi, my name is Aura, and the question I have for you is, what are some of your hobbies?
I love naturally to shop, so shopping's my hobby. And I love going to the beach and being out in the sun, and I like to read. I like to read sitting out in the sun.
I like all those things.
We would get along well.
Hi, my name is Kindness, and my question for you is, what made you want to get into this line of business?
It sort of happened I happened to be in the right place at the right time. My husband was working in Atlanta, and I stayed back in Southeast Georgia till our youngest child graduated and went off to college. And when she went off to college, I had been in a classroom for 26 years teaching, and Governor Deal decided he needed someone to be out in the field saluting teachers and learners like you and visiting all the schools in Georgia. And I happened to be the lucky one that he asked to do that job. So now I just visit and tour the state of Georgia going from school to school.
Okay. Thank you I think it was very nice meeting you, Miss Pam Williams.
Thank you, boys and girls, for visiting the Capitol and giving me the opportunity to meet you. And good luck, and remember, whatever you want to do, the sky's the limit if you make good choices and stay on the right track. So good luck.
Thank you.
Unity with Pam is being brought to you by these great sponsors.
Is your weight preventing you from leading a happy, healthy life? West Georgia Health in LaGrange is the only accredited center for weight loss surgery in the region to offer all 3 surgical options, and your procedure may be covered by insurance. To learn more about your weight loss surgery options, visit wghealth.org. West Georgia Health, so healthy together.
Come into Chester's Barbecue for our world-famous mouth-watering ribs, smoked fresh on our grill daily. Or try one of our barbecue pork plates with fresh sides. Chester's has delicious sandwich combos to choose from that are sure to please. We also serve tempting home-cooked favorites. And don't forget to take home your own bottle of great sauce. Chester's Barbecue, serving the best food at the best price, with 3 locations to serve you.
Hi, my name is Karen Stacy, and we are back with Mr. John Pezoid. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Good.
Thank y'all for coming up to the Capitol today. This is exciting.
Okay, today my question would be for you. What made you want to enter all the sports activities that you've been doing all your life?
So when I was a kid, I was 6 foot tall in 7th grade. So I loved playing basketball. My favorite basketball player was Reggie Miller. I don't know if many of you, if y'all remember Reggie Miller, but he could really shoot the basketball. And so I was a big kid, so I could bully people around in the post. But I stopped growing after 7th grade, so I had to develop an outside jump shot. Realized that my jump shot was not good enough, and so I kind of gave that up, but I ran track in high school as well. That was fun. Played a little tennis, not very well. But, you know, I thought it was important to try different sports and find out what I was good at and what I really enjoyed. So I enjoyed all of them.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi, my name is Aura, and my question for you is, what was it like working with textile, and what exactly is textile?
So textiles is any cloth that you wear. It could mean, you know, drapes, carpet, but the textile plant that I worked at is called Denim North America, and we manufacture denim like you wear in blue jeans. So they take cotton and they weave it together, and ultimately you get the blue jeans that you're wearing.
Cool.
Yeah.
My name is Jasmine, and I wanted to know, since you've done so many jobs, which job was your favorite and why?
My favorite job had to be when I started working at McDonald's for my dad when I was 8 years old. And I was the only one of my friends who worked, but I made $1 an hour. And this is, you know, back in the mid-1980s, and I thought that $1 an hour was a whole lot of money. So I got to, you know, save that away and every once in a while spend it on myself to get myself something. But I really liked working at McDonald's because I got to meet all kinds of different people, and it just opened my eyes to people with different life experiences than me. So I think that's always a good thing. Broaden my horizons. Pass this over.
Hi, I am Tadre, and I have a question for you. What inspired you to graduate from 2 colleges?
Well, so I graduated from Auburn University with a degree in finance, and I always knew that in today's job market, you needed, I felt like you needed more than just a bachelor's degree. So shortly after that, I decided to go to Columbus State University in our hometown and get my master's degree in business. So it was really just to prepare myself for life, life after college and a job.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Mr. John, since you went to Auburn University, what is Auburn your favorite team?
You know, Auburn is actually not my favorite team. I am a USC Trojan fan, and I know that comes as quite a shock to many people. I may be the only USC Trojan fan in the Columbus area, but we had some close family friends when we were growing up, and they lived in Los Angeles, and one day we went out to visit them in California, and this guy's kids went to USC, so I figured, you know what, that's the team I'm going to like, and it kind of stuck. And of course, they're not doing so hot right now in football, but I still like them regardless.
My name is Ryan, and I have a question for you. How did you work at McDonald's when you were 8? I thought you had to be of age to work at.
You do have to be 16, but since it was my dad's business, he would kind of walk in the store and tell people it's okay, he can work. I remember when I first started out, some people from the government came around a couple times and said that I was violating child labor laws. And so they tried to get me to not work, but my dad came over and said, he's my son, and I'm going to teach him the value of $1 and the value of hard work. So he instilled that in me at a very young age. So I'm glad that he did it.
That's good.
Yeah.
We'll be back with another guest to interview.
Come on in to Sugars for a sweet taste of Southern cooking. You will be taken back to Sunday dinner at Grandma's house with every bite. Daily specials serving fried chicken, collards, black-eyed peas, also melt-in-your-mouth cornbread. You will want to ask for seconds. Also try one of our homemade desserts. You will be in sweet, sweet heaven. Sugars offers catering for all your corporate, church, and family gatherings. They will do all the work and save you all the trouble. Sugars, a taste of Southern cooking.
My grades were bad. I would get D's and C's.
It got worse and worse and worse throughout the years. I mean, it was just rough focusing on school when your mother, who acts like a child, is somebody you have to take care of.
I appeared to be doing good at my school life, but if you would see me at home, it would have been a completely different story.
There are students who need somebody.
You don't have to have the answer. They just want you to listen to them. So once you figure that out, it's good.
If something was going on at home, we would go just stop by Miss Liberty's office and talk to her.
They can trust someone, and it could be the first person they've ever trusted in their life.
I feel very empowered to make positive choices for my students.
If you looked at my transcript, you can see a huge difference.
Help us change the picture of education for more than 1.3 million kids every year. Visit communitiesinschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I think that we can.
My name is Ryan, and we are back with Unity with Pam with a new guest, Senator Harbison. How are you today?
Fine, how are you?
Good. It's an honor to be here with you. Well, Mr. Senator Harbison, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What district do you represent now?
I represent what is called the 15th Senatorial District. That entails 7 counties, including Muskogee, Chattahoochee County, Marion, Macon, Taylor, Talbot, and Schley counties.
That's a lot.
Total of 7 counties. Right.
Senator Harbison.
Yes.
What is your favorite thing about this job?
The favorite thing about this job is interacting with people like you, kids like you, because obviously it makes us better senators and representatives because we know that you're watching what we do, you're learning from what we do, and prayerfully you help us become better at our jobs. It's really important that you, as young people, become involved in government and interact with government so you'll know that this is your house, that we're your representatives, and we're here to serve you and your interests. And you must learn that voting is very important, right? It's an important thing.
I'm Tadre, and Senator, I have a question for you.
Yes.
How hard is it to be a senator?
Well, I don't know whether you mean how hard it is in an election sense. I don't know that, but the bottom line is you need to work and show the people that you're dedicated to the proposition, that you understand that you're going to work for their interests, that if you're elected, that you're going to be on the front line for them, whether it's something about government, whether it's something about food stamps, whether it's something about business, public, private enterprises, and those kinds of things are very important. But right now, where you all are would be educational issues about what best way to facilitate your needs at that level and make sure that you qualify for the lottery scholarships and that you understand that if you get good grades, that you can go to school free. All you have to do is to be smart, not necessarily born with good brain matter, but to apply yourself in a way that shows that you're dedicated to the proposition that all children can learn, and you can. So keep up the good works.
Yes, sir.
All right.
My name is Jasmine. So, Senator Harbison, senators like you have been senators for a long time. Do you think there should be term limits?
Well, term limits are things that are automatic. Right now, the people have a bite out of you every 2 years, so to speak. So if they don't like what you're doing in office, they will curb your term. So right now, term limits is something that usually comes about when people are very dissatisfied with the people in office. But every 2 years, That's why other countries may have revolutions and we have evolutions. That is, we have elections. That every 2 years, every 4 years for the president and Congress, those kinds of things, you, your parents, the voters have a right to come in and say, we like the job you're doing, so you're okay. Otherwise, they would limit your term to that term.
Hi, my name is Aura.
Hey.
And my question for you is, what are some regular things that you do as a senator?
Well, some of the things I do, prior to my chairing now the State Institutions Committee, I chaired the Veterans, Military, and Homeland Security Committee, which meant that I looked out for the affairs of veterans, the people who fight for our country, the people who served overseas and far places, and actually they fight in wars to protect American interests. So being a former Marine myself, a former combat veteran, what I understand is that the fighting men and women of this country deserve to have their interests looked out for. We passed bills that will look out for their families, children, making sure that when they go from state to state, that the state of Georgia will be among those states that will treat them fairly and in a humane manner. In addition to that, we implemented a bill last year called the Veterans Courts Bill. So when veterans get in a situation, we make sure that we're there to try to help them. So my aim was in that direction. Right now, it's oversight of prisons in the state of Georgia.
Sounds interesting.
It is.
Hi, Mr. Senator Harrison. Okay, my question for you today is, a few years back, you fought in the Marines. How was your experience?
I did what?
You fought in the Marines.
I fought in, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
You fought in the Marines.
Yes, I'm sorry, I apologize, yes. And you said, how did I feel?
Like, how was your experience?
Oh, the experience made me feel like I wanted to go home. But usually, the good thing about our military, whether you're in the Air Force, Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, the whole thing about that is that you understand that you sign up for whatever term you sign up to serve your country. And the thing that you ultimately can do is represent your country in a war. Now, that's something we don't want to do, we don't look forward to doing, but at the same time, we know that we have men and women who are well trained to meet the enemy where they are. We don't want to look for enemies, we don't want to be anybody's enemy, but at the same time, we as Americans stand tall and answer the call whenever there's a threat to our country, such as in 9/11, those kinds of things. So I felt that it was my privilege and honor to serve. It's not always a pleasant experience, but at the same time, it was my duty and I accepted that voluntarily.
Is your weight preventing you from leading a happy, healthy life? West Georgia Health in LaGrange is the only accredited center for weight loss surgery in the region to offer all 3 surgical options, and your procedure may be covered by insurance. To learn more about your weight loss surgery options, visit wghealth.org. West Georgia Health, so healthy together.
Hello, I'm Carla Etheridge from Uganda, a missionary there. I'm just asking today if you could please help us. We need to feed hungry children and we need to send them to school. We would appreciate your help so much because God cares for widows and orphans. If you would just send it financial support, it would really be helpful to us. We will be praying for you and I hope you will be praying for me. We thank you very much. God bless you all.
When your child is sick, you take them to the doctor, right? Well, at Zoe Pediatrics, we don't just take care of sick kids. We want to keep the healthy ones healthy.
At Zoe Pediatrics, we're in the business of prevention. We would love if when our children are 100 years old, they could say they were never sick a day in their life because of what they learned at Zoe Pediatrics.
Don't wait for sickness. Children don't have to be sick to get better. Good doctors treat illness. Really great doctors prevent disease. Zoe Pediatrics, 10th Avenue at 17th Street.
Looking for a different kind of church service? Instead of your Sunday suit and a row of pews, Midtown Connection offers a cup of coffee and some real conversation about who Christ is and what being a Christ follower means. Midtown Connection is located inside Waldrop Memorial Baptist Church on Hilton Avenue, right in the heart of Midtown Columbus. Join friends over a cup of coffee this Sunday and enjoy uplifting music and a positive Christ-centered message. Midtown Connection at Waldrop Memorial Baptist Church. The way worship should be.
Hi, my name is Kindness Stacy, and today we do have Mr. Williams. Okay, my question for you today is, in your line of business, if a person was to mistreat a dog, like not feed him or she, and kick it around and not care about it and just leave it outside, will they be able to go to jail for that?
That's a great question. I'm the Commissioner of the Department of Natural Resources, so I do not handle domestic animals like dogs, cats, and even goats and pigs and hogs and cows and stuff. I handle all the wildlife of the state of Georgia, but you'll be pleased to know that there are a lot of great laws on Georgia's books that handle cruelty to animals, and people are prosecuted, unfortunately, daily sometimes in this state for those offenses. They're actually handled by local law enforcement, sheriffs and police departments, and sometimes the Department of Agriculture, if there's mistreatment of horses and farm animals, they will step in. But it's not actually my job to do that, but it's a great question because we certainly don't need to mistreat wildlife or domestic animals.
Okay. Hi, my name is Aura, and my question is, how often do people do crimes against wildlife?
That's a great question. Some of the crimes against wildlife we have, obviously, we don't want people using indiscriminate type herbicides or pesticides in the wildlife that might affect them. And we have law enforcement officers in our department. A lot of people call them game wardens because we do allow the hunting and fishing of wildlife for certain species, but we set parameters in which people can do that. We try to set seasons where they're not breeding and they're not raising their young for instance, and so we ask people to hunt for animals and fish for certain animals at different times of the year so as not to affect. Our job is to keep all of the species of animals in the state healthy, so we use hunting and fishing as a management tool.
Yeah, because it would be bad if they hunt all the animals.
That's right.
My name is Jasmine. So my question is, how do you actually get these animals like picked up if they're like really heavy, and how do you skin them? How
we pick them up and skin them? Well, certain animals they certainly come in different sizes, and if people are using, if it is a species like a white-tailed deer that's very big, can go anywhere from 90 pounds up to 200 pounds in the state of Georgia, people actually hunt those for meat. They hunt those sometimes for their skin, but and so we do not do the actual pickup of animals. If it's an animal that is being hunted, then the person that's hunting would be responsible for removing that animal from the woods after they had hunted it. Does that answer you?
Hi, I'm Tadre, and I have to ask you, you can see the turtle head skull I'm holding now. Do you know how this turtle died?
I believe that turtle was injured by a boat propeller. Sea turtles are a federally protected species. We have a lot of them in the state of Georgia. We have some of the best nesting ground in the state of Georgia. Last year we set a record for the state of Georgia, I think, with 2,508 nests off the coast. And for those of you, I know you're on the other side of the state, but down on the east coast of Georgia, we have a lot of barrier islands that have a lot of seashore that opens to the ocean. And so these sea turtles come up during the warm months, the females do, they swim out of the water, climb up, and dig a big nest. And they lay a big, what we call a clutch of eggs in there. Sometimes there's 150 eggs in there. And they incubate in that hole. She leaves them on their own, and they hatch on their own. And these little bitty, if you can imagine this skull, how big it is, started out as a whole turtle that was about that big, like you'd see at the pet store or something. And it has a long crawl with its little bitty flippers down to the water, and then gets into the water and then grows to maturity and comes back and nests on our beaches. So,
thank you.
Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it normal for a raccoon to be out in the daytime?
For a raccoon to be out in the daytime, they're pretty much nocturnal. Everybody know what nocturnal means? That means they most of their activities at night, and raccoons are pretty nocturnal. So during the daytime, you'll hardly ever see them on the ground. They'll be up on in a tall tree on a branch somewhere. So they don't like to come out much at night. I mean during the day.
Mr. Williams, earlier before we started this up, you said that say if a squirrel goes into someone's property and it belongs to everyone in the state of Columbus, Georgia, why does these animals try to hurt people and try to kill folks? And when we hunt them down and kill them, Mother Nature gets upset with us.
Okay. We did talk about that before the cameras came on. It's called, the philosophy I'm talking about is called the public trust doctrine, which is a nationwide philosophy that all wildlife belong to all the people. So no one person for wild animals has claim to say, even though wild animals may be habitating or living on your property, they don't just belong to you, they belong to everybody sitting around here, and all these people out in front of us, they belong to everybody. And so we try to protect, every state has a wildlife agency that protects them. And when I say protect, that doesn't mean we don't allow for the hunting and fishing of them, because protecting, part of that is keeping the population healthy. You can only have so many deer in an area, you can only have so many raccoons in an area, and so we have tools that we use. Hunting and fishing are part of those tools. Now, a lot of people like to hunt and fish. I'm a hunter and a fisherman myself, and for a lot of reasons. It's recreational and also for consumption. So those tools help us manage the population, so we don't have one population of an animal getting overgrown and out of proportion with the rest of them.
Well, thanks for all your time, and thank you for being here so we can interview you.
You're more than welcome. You are great. Thanks for having me.
We're finished with the Unity with Pam Kids broadcasting. See you next time.
Thank you for watching Unity with Pam. If you would like to be a sponsor, please contact us or visit unitywithpam.org.
My grades were bad. I would get D's and C's. It got worse and worse and worse throughout the years. I mean, it was just rough focusing on school when your mother, who acts like a child, is somebody you have to take care of.
I appeared to be doing good at my school life, but if you would see me at home, it would have been a completely different story.
There are students who need somebody.
You don't have to have the answer, they just want you to listen to them. So once you figure that out, it's good.
If something was going on at home, we would go just stop by Miss Liberty's office and talk to her.
They can trust someone, and it could be the first person they've ever trusted in their life.
I feel very empowered to make positive choices for my students.
If you looked at my transcript, you can see a huge difference.
Help us change the picture of education for more than 1.3 million kids every year. Visit communitiesandschools.org.
I hear people say we can't save every kid, but I